that OETH in Shagamu, so we can start to test our own samples here. The Director General of NCDC and the WHO country rep were both in Ogun State a couple of days ago to inspect our facilities. And to complement all of that we have done, we now have here today a walking test center that has been situated here in Ota. As you heard from Ola Brown just a minute ago, this is the first of its kind in Africa. And we're very proud once again to be the innovative state, the innovative center in this country and doing the best for our people.
I'm here today because my company is the one running the operations here. This place was funded and the booth was designed by Dr. La Brown from the Flying Doctors, and I think all of the funding for this place also came from that. But my company is MDAS Global is in charge of the operations, making sure that we interface seamlessly with the state infrastructure for COVID testing. So what we do every single day is we make sure that we have like a seamless, and when the patients come in, it's like totally seamless as they get screened. And if they are deemed high risk, they would be passed on to a place where they can get tested. And what is unique about this place is that because of the booth, you can do a lot more tests here than you could do if you're going to people's houses to go get the sample done. And another big advantage of this way of doing things, of testing, is that the numbers of PPE you need to operate this place per day is significantly lower. So for example, if you're going to people's houses to get tested, for each new houses you enter, you have to be wearing a new PPE. But here, the only person wearing a PPE here that needs to absolutely wear a PPE is the hygienist sanitizing the gloves after each sample is taken.
Right now we have an appointment-based system as well as an option for patients to be screened. So ideally patients will be reached out to on the phone ahead of time, or they will have called the hotline to do the initial screening to determine whether a patient is high risk and fitting the case definition in order to get tested. So that's something that we're doing, that initial screening, asking questions about who the patient has come in contact with, if they have any symptoms, things like that. If a patient is a high-risk patient and needs to get tested, they are directed to this site where they come in through the gate. We do a registration process, checking them in, making sure that they're the right person, and then we direct them to the testing booth where they'll have their samples collected by our lab scientist who's standing in there behind the booth. And then the hygienist is there to help support the lab scientist and ensure that the outside of the booth stays safe and clean for the next patient. After the samples are collected, the patient can then leave. And then it takes between 24 and 48 hours for those test results to come back to the patient. And they're advised to stay home and stay away from other people during that time in case the test does come back positive.
So most of the samples being collected here are being transported to Ibadan to go be tested. Currently, I think Ogun State is about to launch their own lab. Once the lab in Shagamu is up and running, then the samples will be going to Shagamu instead of Ibadan. And this is going to is in UCH, it's an NCDC lab. So, NCDC knows how to do their job. So we just wait for them to give us the results after we take the samples to them.